Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. We already know what it is. We're going to give this a quick 3-second pause to confirm. Thank you, Bucho, that we are indeed looking and sounding good. Hey, guys, welcome to the Symphony. If you do not know, Symphony Entertainment is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring you a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, and this afternoon, at least here in the States, two of our guests are across the pond, so it's evening for them. We are back with the Symphony Sonatas, which is 60 minutes of improvised horror. I can't tell you what is going to happen because honestly, not knowing is part of the fun, part of the game, and the point of this exercise. So if you're watching live, hop into the chat. Like I can already see Bucho is there, Doc is there, living the best life. From what I understand, Graham is going to be taking live suggestions from the chat and metabolizing it into the play experience. So feel free to get down and dirty in the chat and throw us some inspiration. Outside of that, guys, I think there's only one quick announcement, and you guys already know what it is. It's that Symphony Entertainment has a Patreon. So if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Safety tools that we are going to be rocking and rolling with are going to be the X card. X's can be done visibly or they can be thrown into the Zoom chat where Graham can see them. The other mandated safety tool that we have at the Symphony is the red, yellow, green traffic light method that can be called by any cast member or any chat member. Hi, Chris Bates. At any time. If a color check is called, everything stops. We do an assessment. We do a temperature check on where we are, how we're feeling, and then we rock on from there. Outside of that, guys, Bridgett is out of the way because I am sitting with two of my personal role models when it comes to horror gaming, Scott and Graham. So just super fast. Graham, tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you.
Hi, I'm Graham. I wrote the Cthulhu horror game, which isn't Call of Cthulhu. I wrote. He wrote the other one. So, there's probably other ones as well. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Can I start again?
You can start again.
I wrote Cthulhu Dark. I'm writing. I write lots of weird little games as well. You should come to my Patreon, www.patreon.com/Graham, because yes, I got there very early. Amount of How did that happen?
I'm still so irritated about that.
I know. I'm irritated by it. Anyway, that's it. I'm really looking forward to this. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, and Scott, welcome back, baby. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you.
Well, thank you, Bridgett. Yes, I'm Scott Dorward. I've written a bunch of stuff for Call of Cthulhu and other horror games, mostly ones with Cthulhu in the name, like Cthulhu Dark. And I am the co-host of the Good Friends of Jackson Elias, a podcast largely about Call of Cthulhu, but we talk about weird fiction, horror films, and all sorts of other cool stuff. And you can find that at blasphemoustomes.com.
Beautiful. Okay, Graham, right before I hand it to you guys, how's the sound right now? How are we doing now? I've upped their game, so they should be significantly louder. I know y'all can hear me. I'm loud as shit. Have Graham talk.
Argument about whether I'm too quiet or Bridget's too loud, and it's great.
How's that, guys? Are they better?
Butcher's saying have Graham talk. I'm totally down with that. I don't know what more with Graham means. All right, so hello, I'm still Graham Walmsley. I still wrote the same games I did a moment ago. How is my microphone doing something weird? Yeah. Okay.
He's saying more volume low. I have him maxed on my end, guys, so there's nothing else I can do from my end.
I wonder whether it's Zoom doing clever things, because it does mess around with the audio.
Listen, wait a second, guys. Audio having an issue on the Symphony? I never could have thunk it. Where could this be happening from? Might be the inputs on their side.
I think my microphone might be trying to be smart. It's better than it was.
Oh.
Yeah. My
okay.
It's just gone down again.
Oh no! It was really good there for a moment, and then it's
gone down.
Not as
great.
Good. Yeah.
Thanks. Go on. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't. I don't think that's the microphone. Zoom does automatically adjust volume levels unless you tell it not.
Oh,
If you go into the audio settings, there's a box saying automatically adjust microphone levels. If you switch that off, it will stop digging around with your mic.
there's a thing that you can do with that. Why, like,
Yes.
why aren't you over here on the Symphony doing like actual production stuff for me right now, Scott? What the fuck? This is absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay, wait a second.
Scott, tell me how to do that again.
Yeah, let's do it again, Scott.
Yeah. Go to the audio settings, the next to your microphone icon in the bottom left.
Yep.
Go to click on the up arrow there, and then on audio settings, and then about halfway down under microphone, there's a tick box saying automatically adjust microphone volume. Make sure that is ticked off, because otherwise it will change it as it sees fit.
Look at you being fancy. I don't think I have
Or
that
if you,
box
if you
tipped.
really if you really want to get fancy, you can then switch on original sound for musicians, switch off all the other clever stuff that Zoom does, and then you just get the raw audio feed.
No, that stresses me out. I'm not there yet. All right, guys. Yeah, exactly, Chris Bates. Live audio lessons in streaming with Scott and Graham. That should be a segment. Okay, guys, we're gonna rock out from where we are, send thoughts and prayers, and we'll hang out from there. Graham will just have to scream. Oh God, is he messing
Oh,
with us?
we can't hear you at all now, Graham. Sorry, I thought you were doing a bit there.
I thought he was being funny too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the
Okay,
Symphony.
can you hear me now? You still can't
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
You can.
Yep. Yeah, you're back with us.
You're
I
back
think
with
I might
us.
have. I might have got it to stop adjusting settings, but mute myself. Okay.
Huh.
I think we're
Good.
good now.
Are we good? I
No.
can hear you, chat. Can you hear me?
We're absolutely wonderful.
Excellent. Chat, how are you doing? Now I give a couple. This jives. Best show ever. I hear everyone, and I hear you too, John the Hedge. Right. We're going to tell a horror story. We haven't really talked about this in advance. What I will say is that here in Britain, it's firework night, and firework night, if you don't know, is a distinctly dark ceremony where we commemorate, probably not celebrate, someone trying to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And so it's traditionally associated with, we have bonfires, we have fireworks. I haven't actually told you this, but in my local town, there's a torchlit parade, which sounds like a really beautiful thing until what you realise it means is the townsfolk walk through town with burning torches. So I did this last Saturday. It's really exciting. It's really fun. I like to think it's a medieval tradition, but yeah, actually, sadly, it's not. Yeah.
And we also burn people in effigy.
And we burn people in effigy. We do that. So we did this last year. We did this whole improvised scenario, and I want to do the same this year. We haven't discussed characters in advance. We haven't discussed the scenario in advance. We're just going to improvise with what we get. So, chat. Can I just start with you? I want an opening scene which we're going to put Bridgett and Scott in. And can you just give me an opening scene on the theme of cold? So
Ooh.
whatever that says to you, just give me something in the chat, and we will start working with that.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I will fill. We've got there waiting for the bus in the cold. A dark sheep field late at night. John, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Up on the heath, working at an ice house. I don't even know ice house. Oh, we could. Oh, so I know ice houses is a very kind of. I think they're a Victorian country house thing. Which
Well, they were houses in which ice importers would store large amounts of ice and then sell smaller amounts off to to individuals and businesses, but they were like big warehouses with huge amounts of ice in them.
So I'm going to go on the ice house, which I once walked in at a country house, and so it was this sort of dome where the servants would come and and sort of take the ice. And so I think we should do that. I think we should do a Victorian country house.
Okay.
So it's it's a late night and a cold night in the in northern England out on the moors. And we can see from inside the house the lights are on in the dining room, and there's the sound of laughter. But the people who aren't laughing tonight are the servants who are serving everything. And so downstairs there is a bustle as people run about. And then we're going to cut to outside where it is blisteringly cold, and we're going to see a figure coming out to the ice house to get some ice. And uh, Scott, can we have your servant? Give me some. If you want to type some stuff in the chat, then we'll use it for Scott's servant. But meanwhile, just start to describe what this guy looks like as he walks out, and we zoom in a bit closer.
Yeah, Jack is a sort of hunched figure, dressed in the livery of the house, but still managing to look a bit scruffy with it. He is holding his coat around himself, which is clearly not up to the cold, and shivering a bit. And there is a look of dread and anticipation on his face as he's just muttering to himself.
I think that's wonderful. So Jack is walking in his, should we say, footman's uniform? Someone threw
Yeah.
a footman's uniform at him. It doesn't quite fit. So he's one of the lower footmen, and
Yeah.
and the footmen take turns in going out to the ice house because nobody wants to go. And so you walk across the lawn, which is slippery with moss. And it's always this stage of the walk where the trees around you seem to swirl just a little and become oppressive. And then you have the steps down to the ice house. And I'll just leave you there for a moment, just looking at the steps down.
Mm.
And then there's a shout behind you. And Bridgett, can we have your character? So we're going to have let's have your character in a maid's uniform, and we'll just play a quick scene from there.
No, I like it. Did I hear, just because Bridget got stressed out with the pause, did I hear that there was a shout?
Oh, you're the shout. You're going to shout out at Scott's footman.
Okay. So my voice calls out. It's shrill. And it's Jack, Jack, and running up.
Don't do that. You frightened the life out of me.
When you turn around at the top of the steps, you see Emily, that's in her maid's outfit, and she's got a coat that's been bundled around her, but she's also carrying a longer, heavier wool sheet of something that is very, very likely for you. This is a petite woman that looks to be maybe in her 40s. Hair is pulled back into a tight bun, but you can immediately see the second you look Emily in the face that she's fresh off of a bout of tears. Given the guests that are in the house today, that's not overly surprising. But Jack, you can't be out here in this weather. Here.
Someone's got to get the bleeding ice in, haven't they? Oh, what do they even need ice for? All they have to do is open a bleeding window.
I know. You would think that they were focused on things. Do you need help?
Has her upstairs been shouting at you again?
I don't like it here. And it gets worse every season.
And in the dark, you can see a mark across Emily's face. It's the sting of
Oh,
a
she
riding
didn't.
crop.
Oh, she didn't hit you again, did she? Oh, I don't know. I know it's not your place to talk back to her, but I don't know why you could work any way you want, Emily. You're the best bleeding maid they've got here, and you just let her treat you like that. If you left, if you got a better job elsewhere, yes, I mean the whole place would fall about. Between you and me, I'd just laugh. I'd just laugh.
And Scott, so your hand is now on the door of the ice house. Did you descend the steps? And this is what's going on in your head, right? Do you remember descending the steps? Because
I didn't. No, I can't have done. I can't have done.
Because that's where the two of you are now, just outside it with the steps, the dark steps above you. Maybe you did walk down while you were talking. Maybe you don't remember.
I suppose they sent you out to get ice too, then?
No, I saw you from the window. I didn't want you to get sick.
Well, no, we can take so much bloody ice back there. Say that it took two of us. We can take our time over it, all right? There's no hurry for you to get back there.
If I left, would you come with me?
Well, you know I would if it, but my old mum, she's down at the village, and I can't. She'd never leave you. She'd never leave you, and without me giving her a bit of money every month, I don't know how'd make that work.
And the door to the ice house, you feel the draft from inside the ice house. And again, was that door open before, or maybe you just opened it?
I look down at my hand on the door handle and then just look up at Emily with a look of confused fear in my eyes.
What's wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Yeah, we've got a lot on our minds. Look, let's just get this over with, all right? Have you ever been in here before?
There's a moment where I'm trying to think, have I been in here before? Or if I've ever left here before? If this is my first time or my fifth time, or I don't. Yeah, I've fetched ice before. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I don't like it in there. I'm sure it's just the cold, right? It's just the cold.
I'm just gonna tee up to the question to the game master. Have I been here before?
I like the idea you can't remember. It feels as though you must have done, but you can't. When you try and put your mind to it, you can't. It's like the memory is slippery.
Ugh, I hate that word choice. Okay.
Right, let's get this over with. Let's get it done. And reluctantly, I'll raise my little lantern and head inside.
I'm going to follow behind Jack. I'm going to close the door behind us.
Oh, you don't need to close the door. It's already closed. You you walk into the ice house, and then the memory comes back, Emily and Jack, and you remember what you'd blocked out before, and I'm just going exactly with what the chat is going with here, where there's blocks of ice all round the ice house, but there's something else as well, and there's chunks of bodies and legs. I mean, there is actually the body of a former footman, probably the one who was wearing your coat, Scott, and it's been neatly carved, and chunks and slices have been taken out, and you remember now that this is what you're here to do.
I suppose we'd better get carving. I'll lean down and look at the leg that's lying there. Was that really what they wanted? It wasn't just the ice, right? It wasn't just the ice. That's what we're out here to do, right?
Jack, I don't remember. But I remember that we should finish what we started here. I'm going to go get the tools.
Oh, so are you leaving the ice house, Emily? Get the tools?
Unless there's a workshop or a workstation or something here within the ice house, I will go there. Those moments when you're trying to reconnect with, like, did you lower the garage door before you pull it out of the house, or did you remember to like pull the charger out of the wall, or is that oven still on? And sometimes you just need just enough to kind of like help that synapse fire. I'm just gonna go to the workstation and go look at the tools that have been assembled to see like if I can get some clarity there.
Oh, there's clarity. Yeah, there's a hacksaw. There's a knife to. I mean, so usually you have to go through with the hacksaw, right? And your memory comes back. Let's go back in time, actually, to when Emily was last there by herself this time, and with the previous footman standing beside her. Scott, would you mind being the previous footman for a moment? The guy who used to own your coat?
Oh, we're swapping around. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful where you put that bloody knife.
I roll my eyes and I look at him. What's the name of this footman again? Sorry.
This is Jeff.
David.
This is David.
David.
Jeff was the guy before.
Yeah, we're cutting up Jeff.
This is Jeff. Yeah.
Cutting Jeff. This is David right now. I know how to use a knife, David. I don't need your...
Oh, look, you're trying to cut up a frozen foot at the moment, and if that knife slips, we're going to end up serving them fingers as well.
So it's your estimation then that you can do this better than I can?
My estimation, is that your posh way of saying that you don't know what you're doing? Because if so, to put it in the kind of posh language you seem to understand, I fucking concur.
I'm going to slap him. Because how dare he use that language on me in this space? So I'm going to reach out and I'm going to attempt to just smack him across the face.
Did you remember to put the knife down before
I
smacking
did not. Let's just start there.
Yeah. And it's mainly the flat of the blade, but it does also leave a mark down the side of your face. And I do like the idea that David, I think, actually sort of starts sawing up the body. Can we have that?
Oh,
sure. Well, if you're quite finished with all that, let me just show you how it's done.
I flip the blade around and hand it to you handle first.
Well, we're going to
And
start with the axle, aren't we? We're going to start with the axle.
And coming back to the present day, Emily, it comes back to you, and you remember that whoever cuts the body is next.
Jack.
What? And there's a sort of crunching sound as he's trying to get this leg off the ground where there's a bit of blood that's frozen.
You just need the right tools. Here. And I'm going to bring over a selection of tools to assist Jack with this process.
Oh, it's all right. I've got it.
Oh, I can hear the ripping sensation, or I can hear the ripping sound with flesh on ice rending and pulling off. Oh my goodness, I can hear it in my head. Ugh.
I think I think I left a bit of skin there, but I've got it.
Okay.
They
Just
don't
there
need
to
the
the
skin,
table,
do
to the
they?
left.
Do they use the skin?
Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And I'm going to.
How
Oh, go ahead.
How are you even supposed to cut into this? It's frozen solid.
Jack, do you remember anything about what we're doing, who we're preparing this for, or why it happens?
I thought I came here to get ice.
I'm just going to reach out to Jack and I'm just going to run my finger across that reoccurring line that keeps going across our cheeks, the one that I have, the one that was given to David, and I'm just going to almost ceremoniously just run my finger across the cheeks of Jack, just where that line should be.
Yeah. He doesn't have that line yet, but you know. Yeah, you know he should in some sense.
Is it the leg we're supposed to be doing? I don't know how any of this works.
And it is hard to saw. I mean, the flesh is like iron, and even once you get through the muscle of the leg, you know, the saw trembling in your cold hands. It's very hard to keep the blade straight. Even once you get through the flesh, then you've got the bone, and that's free, and that's frozen too. So yeah, you're cutting this sort of ragged line. It's not bleeding; it's just sort of open, and you can see the meat within, and and now you're sort of grinding against that bone.
You think you're right if we just took the old leg? They could use a whole leg, right? We don't need to cut it up.
Like the ducts in my eyes are already filling again, and I'm trying to suppress the shaking. Um, it's not going as well as I like because I really like Jack. Um, but survival is survival, and they have very specific expectations upstairs. And I know that. No, sweetie, I think we should cut it up. Or they're going to send us back down here to do it again. They're going to send someone back down here to do it again. I can help.
It doesn't even make any sense to cut it up here while it's all frozen. If we took it back to the kitchen, we could warm it up by the fire a bit and thaw it out, and then we could just cut it up like any other joint of meat.
But even as you're saying that, you understand the reason that it has to be cut up, Jack. Because when you leave here, you won't have any memory of what's happened. And so it's important that you're just holding a piece of meat.
Oh, all No, no, it's all right. I understand. I understand. Uh, can you just get a good grip on the ankle? No, I'll give it another go.
Yeah, of course, Jack. And I'm just going to move around to the opposite side of the table, and almost as if I've done this before, I'm just going to like double wrap myself around this ankle, where this cold flesh, this iron flesh is just like wrapped and tucked as tight as I can, because I know that friction is coming, and I want to hold it as still as possible.
Well, well, careful, careful. Keep your hands clear. I wouldn't want to cut any of your fingers.
I'm just going to look down at my hand just to count to see if I actually have 10 fingers.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and of course, as you well, and let's flash back again to when you were there with Dave, right?
Yeah, we're going with Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
I,
and then
I,
there's a
I
moment.
fucking warned you. I warned you. Keep your hands clear.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, because I didn't have a good grip on the ankle at that point, and it's very easy for your hand to just slide over that cold steel like flesh, and it's weird that it doesn't hurt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and back to the present
Well, I
day.
suppose fucking.
God,
I suppose her fucking highness is going to have an appetizer tonight.
So unsettling.
and back to the the present day, where Emily, you are keeping your hands well clear, and Jack, finally the leg comes off, and you have a chunk of meat to take back.
Oh, that's good. That's a
Right.
good cut.
Wait, is that right? Is it? Is it? All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what kind of cut they want. There's still some bone in there. Are they all right with the bone? Do they make soup out of it?
I think I don't remember.
The door to the ice house is open.
I startle and immediately start backpedaling.
I suppose that means we're done.
Mm.
Uh,
But once you walk through the door, you have no memory of
we
this,
don't
right?
have to go back, you know. Yeah, we don't have to go back. We could just leave this here, and we could just go back down to the village right now. It's only a couple of miles. I know it's a cold night, but the walk could keep us warm. We can go down there, and my mum will have a fire going. We can warm up nicely down there, and then we can just work out where to go from there. I, there's always jobs going, aren't there? There's always jobs going. We don't even have to work as serving staff. We could do anything, Emily. We could do anything.
I nod in a very sad agreement because I feel like we've had this conversation so many times. I feel the echoes of this repeating conversation that we've had multiple times. It's like that ping pong. One moment it's me saying it, then it's him saying it. But I feel like there's almost a comfort to being trapped in this cycle of we keep promising each other that we're going to leave, make justifications for why we're going to leave, but never actually leave. There's
And
something
your hand
comforting
is
in
on
that
the.
consistency.
So that's
You go.
so that's it then. That's it then. We're not going back. So I'll put the section of leg back down on the table. So right. So all we have to do is walk out that door. That door's open. All we have to do is walk out that door and keep walking. Right?
What if this is what we're meant to do, Jack?
Oh, we're meant to cut up legs. We're meant to. We're meant to be butchers for the poor sods that have been left here. We're, we're supposed to take bits of this meat back for. God only knows what they're going to do with it back at the house. That's what we're supposed to do. Us.
Maybe we're not butchers. Maybe we're providers. Maybe we are providing a service, and you can tell that I don't believe any of it. I'm just trying to make sense of this moment and this. I maybe we're feeding something that's important.
Oh, no, Emily. We're butchers. And I'll hold up the leg. This poor sod was the provider.
Okay.
Right, so we're just going to go. We're going to walk out of here. We're going to walk out of here. We won't look back, and we'll just go straight down to the village. Right? Straight down to the village.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
So you leave the ice house without the leg, right?
I have such a bad feeling about this.
Well, that's the aim. I wouldn't be surprised to be carrying the leg once we're outside. But let's find
yes,
out.
that's lovely, isn't it? So all
It
right,
was horrible.
You walk out, and Emily, it's a familiar feeling to you, right? It's like the memory of what's just happened. It seems slippery and slips away from your grasp, and all there is now is that you've gone down to get some meat, and you need to bring it up. And again, you're coming up the steps of the ice house, and you hear the laughter coming from the dining room.
Whew.
That's a weird cut of meat, isn't it?
What is that? Is that what they ordered?
I think it's pork. Yeah. Pork loin? I don't know. It's...
Jack, you can't be out
Right,
here
well-
without a coat. Or a better coat than what you're
Yeah.
wearing.
Yeah, let's get back inside. They'll be waiting for us.
And you go back inside, and we just have a moment where the lady of the house says, "No appetizer tonight," and everyone laughs, but you don't really know what she means. And let's move forward a couple of weeks. So there's a new footman now. Scott, would you mind playing the new footman?
Revolving door footman.
Sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, Simon the footman.
Simon. This is Simon. And Simon has been sent out to the ice house just to get some ice. It's what the new footmen always do. And let's have you walking towards the ice house. And actually, what's your first reaction? Right, you've never seen this before, and then the steps go down. It's this sort of strange spherical stone building.
Yeah, Simon is. He's approaching it quite cheerfully. It's been a busy day, but he's a young lad with lots of energy, and there's a little bit of a bounce in his step. And yeah, he's whistling a merry tune to himself as he walks out towards the ice house. But the closer he gets, the more the tune just starts dying away. And just by the time he gets to the steps, he hasn't even noticed, but he's stopped whistling completely.
Yeah.
Is anyone there? Is anyone there?
And there doesn't seem to be anyone there, although you're now not at the top of the steps, but on the second step of the ice house.
Silly. Yeah, everything's all right. Everything's all right. Don't be a silly sausage, Simon. You got to go and get some ice. Get some ice, and everything's going to be all right. And start trying to whistle again, and fail as I open up the door and head in.
Yeah. 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 And so inside, let's stay with this for the moment. We can come to Emily for the moment. So inside, Simon just sees a scene of butchery. Very, you know, nice and nicely done butchery, but there is ice, but there's also bodies, including a body of the previous footman who probably wore the coat you're wearing now.
Yeah, Simon just stops in the doorway, frozen, looking around her. No, that's not ice. That's not ice. No, this is all wrong. This is all wrong, Simon. This is all wrong. This is all wrong. And backing towards the door.
Although for some reason, when you back towards the door, you actually back towards the body. It's a spherical ice house. It's the geography seems weird in here, and your hand falls on a hacksaw.
No. This isn't right. I'll look down at the corpse as if trying to explain myself to him, and I just came out here to get ice.
Should we bring Emily in now? So Emily, you've come up from the village where you're taking care of an old lady there. You don't really know why you're taking care of her. She's just a lady you've taken a liking to, and then you see the door of the ice house is open.
They just hired that new footman, Steven, Sebastian. It's I can't. It's just new employees.
It's hardly worth getting to know their names, is it?
At this point, I recognize them more by the coat than the name, and I still can't quite understand why that's a thing. But chances are, Simon. Chances are Simon left the door open, so I'm going to go towards the ice house. Correct Simon, because if Mistress saw this, he wouldn't have a job much longer. She might take off his head. And then make sure that the door is shut once he's finished.
Yeah. So as you walk into the ice house, as you descend the steps, there's that sense that there's something in there you should remember, but again, it's slipping away. But then when you walk through, it's like the ice seeps into you and steals you in a way, and then suddenly you're like, yes, this is what happens here. And Simon looks like one of the more nervous ones. He's sort of standing.
Yeah. Oh, Simon shrieks as soon as Emily walks in and throws the hacksaw up in the air. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
No, of course. And this is eight
they
fingers.
Were like this when I got here.
No, I understand. Put the little one. Just put it down.
We got to tell someone about this. This isn't right. These are people.
It's ice.
People.
It's just ice. It's just ice,
no,
sweetie.
These are people. Someone's killed them.
And I'm just almost maternally, very slowly, I'm going to close the distance on Simon, and I'm just gonna cup both of his cheeks, his jaw in my hand, and I'm just going to run my thumb over where that line should be. Does he have a line?
Not a line, but there's, I think, he he's got a bit of frozen blood on his hands, and yeah, in the panic he's brushed
Yeah.
some of it across his face, and there's just some red ice crystals smeared across his face.
Oh, I understand.
You understand? How can you understand? They've been cut up into bits. Been cut up into bits.
And I'm going to snake my arms, both of them just over Simon's shoulder. This is just, the nervous, jittery kid. He'll learn.
Mm.
He'll understand. He just needs time. And I'm just going to bring him into a very affectionate hug that is going to attempt to just reassure him and ground him. You'll
Gosh,
feel better later.
just take a moment. How does that feel, Simon? I mean, you
Oh,
don't touch. This is Victorian time. This is
Yeah.
1800s. You don't. This is probably one of the first times you've touched a woman. Certainly been this close. How does that feel?
Simon is now even more frightened. He's absolutely rigid with fear. You can
Mm.
feel him trembling, and it's not just the cold. Oh God, you did this. You did this. You killed them. You killed them. Oh
and
God, let me out of here. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. Oh, just let me out of here, please. Let me out of here.
I'm going to keep my arms wrapped around Simon. And I'm just
Mm.
going to almost nuzzle into him with like the front of my face. And I'm just going to stuff it right here into the crook of his neck. And I'm going to place a single kiss there. And I'm going to whisper into his ear, "No, darling, I didn't do this. We did."
Don't understand. What? I don't understand.
What did Mistress send you down here to collect?
Uh, I thought it was ice, but it wasn't ice, was it? It wasn't. Oh God, does she know? Does she know? Oh God, do they all know? What is this place? I've got to go. I've got to go. I've got to go. I've got to go. And Simon's just
Yeah.
running for the door.
And so, gone. What does Emily do? Are you going to let him go or not let him go?
Well, he's marked. He'll be back.
All right. Yeah. So you run out, Simon, into the icy night, and then the memories of what just
Yeah.
happened seem quite slippery, and you can't grasp them.
Oh, you silly sausage, Simon. You've forgotten the ice. You've only got to have forgotten the ice. That's what you came out for. You came out here to get the ice, and you've gone back with that. Oh, mistress isn't going to be pleased. Oh, Simon, Simon, you forget your own head sometimes if it wasn't screwed on.
And so, do you
And
turn and go back?
oh, absolutely, I've forgotten the ice.
Mm. That's lovely. And so, Simon, you come back in, and then your memory returns, and you understand with certainty what you have to do, and that you'll never leave till you do.
I'm sorry, Emily. I can't do this. I can't. I can't. I, I know. I know. I'm, what, I'm supposed to cut him up. I'll say, pointing at Jack's body on the ground. I'm supposed to what? Take bits of him back in there for them to do God only knows what to, and I'm not going to do it. I don't care what happens. I don't care. I mean, if I have to stay in here and freeze to death, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm not doing that.
Okay. I'm going to go bring Mistress her ice, if your choice is to stay here and freeze to death. That is your choice. I'm going to start picking up bits and getting it together in the carrying basket. She'll be displeased.
That's I think. Well, she wanted bits, didn't she? She didn't want that whole leg there. She wanted bits.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll need this. I'll say, passing her the hacksaw.
My head tilts just slightly because I don't know what Simon is playing at. He's feeding me two different lines of the young ones, they do this sometimes. At least I think they do. And I'm going to take the hacksaw. What did you have in mind?
I'm not doing anything, but your mistress is going to need someone to cut at the body.
Mm-hmm.
Let's flash forward. So, and I just want to do one little last epilogue scene. And so
terrible.
Let's have a scene where a new maid, Bridgett,
Damn it.
comes out to the ice house, and well, just I mean, give me a name for this maid.
Madeline.
Yeah, and Madeline comes and stands at the top of the steps by the ice house. She's been sent to get some ice. But there's something about this place. You're not sure you want to go in.
Madeline has always had a strong felt sense. Her instincts have always been very sharp. And I stop outside of this doorway and my head tilts. Something feels wrong.
And Simon, let's have you coming out of the house to talk to her.
Hey, Madeline, is that right? I've come to help you with the ice.
Yes, your name is Simon. You're the head footman, correct?
Oh, I suppose I am the head footman now. I don't know what happened to all the others.
You've been down there before.
Yes, I have.
And you're standing at the bottom of the steps, just by the door of the ice house.
Let's get this over with, shall we?
I look over my shoulders and back up the stairs, trying to figure out how I crossed that threshold so fast. Because I had just made the decision that I could go work somewhere else rather than to face down something that made me this uncomfortable.
Come on, let's get on with it, shall we? That ice isn't going to cut itself.
The door is open.
Simon,
Yes?
what happens in this ice house?
And let's leave it there. That's really...
Oh, whoa. Oh, God. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my
Thank
God.
you, whoever said
I'm quite
ice
peckish
house.
now.
You're feeling peckish, and I want to go curl up under a comfy blanket. Oh, gosh. Whew. Okay. And that, friends of the Symphony, is where our show ends for the night. That was 60 minutes of improvised horror. And when you deal with a mastermind like Graham, and then you're alley-ooped and teed up by fucking Scott Dorward, really terrible things happen in the ice house. That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Perry, so much for that that prompt. That hit the chat, and that literally defined the story. Woo! That was amazing. Guys, thank you so much for spending time with us in the middle of your afternoon, your evening, or whenever you are watching the replay. If you enjoyed this content, please help us and support us to make more by backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. We hope you have enjoyed the Symphony and the Ice House, and we look forward to seeing you soon if we actually remember. Have a wonderful night, guys. Mwah.